Welcome to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends, the podcast where we explore life, career, relationships, and pop culture through a Christian conservative perspective. Each episode, we dive into deep topics that matter most to us women, from navigating your career with grace and confidence to watering meaningful relationships grounded in faith. We're here to empower you to embrace your femininity and stand firm in your beliefs. We'll also tackle the latest in pop culture, discussing how they align or clash with our values. Let's uncover the truth and encourage each other to live boldly and authentically. So whether you're at home or on your commute, get ready for some fabulous conversations. Grab your teacup, pour yourself some tea. Come on, girlies, we're changing culture. The views expressed on this podcast are our own and do not reflect our employers. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. You are listening to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends. I'm Mallory.
I'm Elise.
And we are changing culture and bringing back traditional values. Welcome to another episode of Those Are the Girls, another week of crazy scheduling. And you know what? As long as you get an episode, that's all right with me. Okay.
Be happy with that, America.
That's right, America, all of America, be happy with that. We have Elise, she's back to talk on this Teacap, and I want to highlight the bonus episode I did. I'm actually kind of proud of it. It was just a different setup type of thing. I pretty much just yapped my opinion on the 3 craziest things that happened last weekend. Pretty much from February 14th and honestly to like February 18th. Just kind of the 3 big things on conservative Twitter. Conservative/Christian/trad Twitter.
Wow.
I gave my opinion and a recap for those of you who don't have Twitter. So yeah, you should check it out. I thought it was good. And I want to reiterate, it is my opinion. 99.9% of it was. The other percent was just me reporting the facts, reporting what happened. And I did try to stay away from being gossipy. Some of it, might have told the line. And it wasn't intentional, but I did try to stay away from being gossipy. Anyway, Elise, how are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm just here with my Aquaphor healing ointment because y'all know when it's 30 degrees outside, my hands look like the hands of a 40-year-old woman. But when you said you did a bonus episode on the 3 biggest things that happened starting February 14th, I was gonna ask if you included my sickness, my brush with death in there. And then you got to the part where you were like talking about trad Twitter. And I was like, so it's not related to me at all.
No, but I would love to discuss that now. How are you feeling?
I am feeling much better, but people of America, it was no joke. I was down and out bad. Like, had the whole, stomach virus, fever. I literally could not keep anything down. And then at one point, I, blacked out and, woke up on my kitchen floor. So that was a little crazy.
I think scary is a better word.
Yeah.
As a friend and someone who loves you, that was kind of scary.
Cuckoo crazy scary pants. Yeah, what's wild is that's not the first time that's happened to me either. There have been several times throughout my life where I'll for different reasons, get sick to my stomach, lose vision, but most of the time I don't also lose consciousness. So that was the most alarming part at the moment. But we're good now.
That's good.
And so one of the articles that I sent Mallory today, and I was like, we should discuss this, which we're not going to, so this is not a spoiler, it is about the Norovirus that's apparently it's taking over North Carolina right now.
Okay, can I say really quick before we talk, we can talk about it for a second at the top of the episode. So I was sick. I woke up sick too on Saturday. I still think you were poisoned by the food poisoned, if you will.
But Norovirus can travel in food. You can get it from food.
Okay, because I woke up and let me tell you, other than this cough and headaches, I really don't get sick. I haven't had a fever since elementary school, maybe. I just don't get sick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got sick Saturday morning. Actually, I felt awful, and I had to keep going back and forth to the bathroom. And I don't know, and I know like looking back, I feel like I'm saying this. Like my brother doesn't believe me. I'm telling you, like I was, because I will admit, like I did push myself, and then Monday I had to pay for it because I was like exhausted Monday. Like it was a
Bless
lot.
your heart.
But I did push myself because Saturday I had the Valentine's Day thing, and there were people who were coming who I didn't have their number. So I didn't want to not show up. And then I had friends. I kept thinking, well, maybe I'll feel better, I'll feel better. So, like, honestly, I left and I did not feel good. But then my friend Elizabeth came and she gave me some Tums. So I like popped like 3 Tums and like this other Pepto Bismol off brand thing and like 2 of those pills. And like I just like put a bunch of stuff. And then I drank tea and I felt better. Like I felt better for sure.
Yeah.
And then the next day I had like a brunch that I had to go to and I had a writing group. And then I pushed myself some more. And then Monday morning I'm trying to like record myself. I'm doing the smile thing. And then like when I came back from that, I was like, oh wow, like I know I'm out of shape, but like I really shouldn't be like this tired. And then I was like, oh, this is probably my body saying, hey girlie, you didn't rest at all this weekend. So then I ended up resting Monday. But like so initially, so my first thought was like I had that virus because I listened to a podcast and one of the girls got the virus and she talked about it, that it was awful. But then when you said you were sick, I was like, okay, well then it must have been the food we ate because the other 2 people who came with us, I asked both of them and they said they felt fine. So then I was like, okay, it must be that. But then I was also like, and it made more sense to me that you were more sick than I was because when I gave you my leftover beans and rice and you had more than me.
You did this to me.
Can I tell you? So then the next day I went to a brunch and someone asked for my leftovers. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to pick over them some more. Like, I just couldn't do it. Like,
traumatized.
I was traumatized.
Yeah,
no, I feel so bad for you because like I knew you were sick, and then it's funny, not funny. Rachel, like at the Galentine, she was like, "Oh, Elise just passed out," something like that, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, it's as you know, as I had my tea, is someone with her? Like,
is she fine?"
Okay, like I can send James over there.
Yeah. No, it's funny how unbothered my parents were. They were absolutely unconcerned. I was like, "Hey guys, so I just woke up on the floor of the kitchen, like I guess when I had like fallen, I'd like grabbed the handle of my oven. So I like woke up and it's like the oven's open like over top of me.
That is so scary.
so I was like, and I hit my head, I think, because it kind of hurts. Do we think like maybe you should go to like the urgent care or something?
Right.
And they were like, nah. They're like, we'll be there in 3 hours.
I told Rachel, I was like, I can send like just let me know I can send James over.
Yeah.
Like he can. It's not like
Yeah.
You're his friend too. He would drop everything to make sure, like I don't.
Yeah.
I think after she hits her head, she probably shouldn't be by herself. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
It was.
And then Rachel's like, "Oh, my parents have it," and then I don't know. Yeah. But I'm glad you're okay. You're fine. You seem fine and healthy.
Yep, we've recovered nicely. Now, anyway, that was the biggest thing that happened to me since February 14th. But I haven't been on, conservative trad Twitter. So
yeah. So tell me, I didn't read the article. Tell me, it's saying the Norovirus is in Charlotte, or?
Yeah, it was saying. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It's basically saying that it's like it's a big outbreak and there's no treatment. Basically, if you get sick, you've just kind of got to rock it out.
And how long were you feeling awful?
Oh, like a day. It wasn't
okay.
Bad.
Yeah.
That part of it wasn't bad.
I hate to miss Valentine's.
Yeah.
We'll go back to that place.
Yeah, I would love to.
Sooner rather than later, everyone. Sooner rather than later.
So, okay, the norovirus which is called the winter vomiting disease, which is, it's such a cute little endearing nickname. But basically, it's highly contagious, can be passed through close contact with an infected individual, contaminated water or food, or by touching a contaminated surface. And basically, it has a kind of a rapid onset, like within 12 to 48 hours, you can start showing symptoms, usually lasts 1 to 3 days, which is short of a regular stomach bug. And it's like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, fever, headache, body aches. So it basically sounds like a really fast acting, almost like a flu, but
Yeah.
like it kicks in super fast and then it doesn't last very long, and you can pick it up from like a bunch of different places. So it just is really easy to spread.
Maybe that was it. I just think it's weird because the other two people felt fine.
Mm-hmm. But they could have been asymptomatic carriers. You know, like
Cool.
we could have got it from them, or if they'd already had it, they could have been like immune to it or whatever. Like, I don't know.
I can blame the male that we were with. I think that'd be funnier.
It's probably a man's fault.
Yeah, it's funnier that way.
I agree.
So, anything else exciting happened to you since you've been on the show?
Not really that I can think of right now, but I'm sure that there's things that I'm just not thinking of. You know?
You know what? I'm going to promote our new writing group Instagram page.
Yes.
Caveat: it is an eclectic group. Not everyone is Christian, conservative. As a matter of fact, it is mainly us that are Christian and conservative. So just
us too.
that's to one James, but like he's definitely not as quote unquote radical as us. Just an FYI. So, you know, I want to warn you.
Not everything that you may find on there may have the TOG stamp of approval.
Correct. It might not have a TOG score. And if it does, the TOG score could be 1. So just an FYI.
Or 0 if it's a really bad day. You never know.
Or 0. No, but our writing group has an Instagram page to promote our writing, and like if you're interested in writing and things like that, we also have tips. Like there's some really, really knowledgeable writers in our group. And you know, this is just a side note, just about like having friends that aren't conservative or Christian. I do think it's important for us to have those friends that aren't conservative or Christian. You know, obviously we want to change their mind, but because I think it's good to hear other perspectives, and I think it's also good to learn, because and to remember that people are more than just like the labels that we put on them, A, and then B, though some of these people in our group might not necessarily align with us on some policy, if we get political, some policies, I promise you there's things that we all agree on. And at the end of the day, I say this on the show all the time, we all want the same thing: safety, to provide for our families, and to provide for our families, essentially. Those two basic things: safety, to provide for our families. We just have a different idea of how to go about it. But yeah, you should follow it. There's going to be some funny stuff. We have some funny people in the group. It's kind of like community.
It really is, actually. Maybe that's the reason we like it so much.
No, 100%. Because, I mean, it's kind of like community. So you can follow our page. It's something that I'll link. Can't remember the title of it yet, but
I think the handle is your favorite, like favorite writing group. Your favorite.
Yeah, you're right. That's it. So yeah, you should follow that. I'm trying to think of anything. Jewelry, buy some jewelry. I guess that's it. Beautiful jewelry.
I literally have on all the jewelry, so buy
it
today.
Buy it today, please. Let's get into the 2 stories. Really, it's just 2 stories, but I'm sure we can yap about them and like make them longer.
We can.
And if not, I'm sure it's okay. For sure, I'm sure it's okay if it's a shorter episode. So this is a story that's actually kind of old, but I haven't really heard many people talking about it, and I feel like it should have been more noise. This is from Yahoo. This is from Yahoo.com. Cheryl Lloyd claims label told her to, quote, hook up with Justin Bieber. Cheryl Lloyd has set the internet abuzz, revealing how she was allegedly asked to pursue Justin Bieber for his fame and conceal that she was getting married from the public. The former X Factor star latest revelation has left fans and critics stunned, questioning the ethics of the behind-the-scenes industry practice. With her candid honesty, Lloyd has once again proven her willingness to challenge the status. She revealed that the record label pressured her to pursue Justin Bieber. She said the calling directive was bizarre, crazy, and horrendous. According to her, she was a teenager at the time and allegedly engaged to her now husband, Craig Monk, who was present when the label suggested it. The singer explained that despite the label investing millions into her album, she was denied a promotional budget. And so they reportedly urged her to hit some of the clubs, finding out where Bieber is and try to get with him. Now 31, Lloyd said that this moment confirmed her belief that the industry saw her as a media tool rather than a true artist worth investing in. Highlighting the industry's exploitative nature, Lloyd also revealed that her team urged her to hide her marriage plans from the label. She claimed that the label believed being off the market would hurt her appeal. Quote, I had no intention of leeching onto male singer for a career, end quote, the singer asserted, condemning the sexist double standard she faced. Well, part of the reason why I want to talk about that is because two things. That is absolutely fascinating. And it just kind of, like mentioned in the article, that kind of does go to the kind of the exploitative measures that they do in that industry. It's disrespectful to her and her husband and to Justin Bieber. Like, that's disrespectful to Justin Bieber too. And I'm just surprised. Like, I feel like I heard this in like one part. Like, I don't know. I'm surprised people just weren't talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
What were your initial thoughts?
Well, that's the first I've heard of it, but that's crazy to me. Like, yeah, I do feel like it's disrespectful to her as an artist to be like, this is what's gonna like give you appeal, is if like men can entertain the fantasy that like they can get with you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because to be honest, even if you know, my favorite actor or whatever, like, is married, like, nobody is really seriously, unless you're suffering like some kind of delusion, like, you're not actually thinking that you're gonna like end up with this person. You're just like,
right.
They're attractive and they're pretty and or whatever, and I have them on a poster on my wall. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, I don't know. It's disrespectful of the public too, I think, to feel like you can like, just like lie about whatever you want, whatever you think is gonna make you more money, But that is crazy. They're like they're like, find out where he is.
Yeah.
Hunt him down. Like, okay, I'm sorry, is she like FBI now? Like,
right.
are you wanting to like keep tabs on him? What's the
just,
plan here, folks?
It's just so gross thinking about like them preying on Justin Bieber. Now, obviously, if you know me in real life, you know I am a Justin Bieber fan. I've been a believer since the beginning. And it's just, to bring him in for 2 seconds. It's so gross, though, thinking like, because I'm sure she's not the only one that they did this to, that they wanted this to happen to. But like, that's kind of sad that so many people, like, he also had to keep his guard up, because you never know who actually like wants to be your friend or like actually wants to get with you. Yeah. And then like, I don't, that's just so, like, the whole thing is just so gross.
For some reason, I also definitely had the perception that she's like much older than him.
Me too, but not? No, because she's 31. Justin Bieber turns 31 this year. I only know that because I turned 31 this year. We're both 1994. Not to brag or anything.
Wow. Imagine being the same age as Justin Bieber.
Right.
Hopefully.
I mean, we could actually be friends. I'm sure there's a universe in infinite universes. Absolutely. Where we are friends. Anyway, so that's also weird. It would be weird if she was older. It's still weird.
Right.
We're all the same age, me, Cheryl, and Justin.
Oh my gosh. It's just the next blog post is going to be a list of celebrities that are the same age as me.
It is weird that we are the same age, but it would be even weirder though if she was older. Yeah. And I'm looking at, so who Cheryl Lloyd is because of this one song. I'll play a snippet for everyone. You'll recognize it. Did that ring any bell?
Okay.
So that's Cheryl Lloyd. And I mean, 15, 16, when did this come out? Whatever this came out was the jam. I will say, a little confused because she isn't. I'm looking here. I'm not really seeing any other songs that I know. Oh, she has one with Becky G, one with Juicy J. That's interesting. One with T.I. That's even more interesting.
I know none of these people. I think I've seen her in clips on. You said she was a judge on like the X Factor or something?
Yeah.
I think I have seen her in clips from that.
Oh, she was featured on the Demi Lovato album.
What?
You guys know I love my girl Demi. She's in I Really Don't Care. I really don't care. Anyway, it is interesting though, as a pop girly, I wouldn't put her in the ranks. I put her with Jessie J, who, once again, these are girls I like.
Yeah.
So I stay loyal to people. I am not friends. I am fans of like Madison Beer. Okay, nobody cares about Madison Beer, but me and my friend Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like, what I'm about to say is not necessarily an insult to these people because I actually like them. Just saying.
Yeah.
But she, I feel like, falls in the same ranks of like Jessie J and Carmen. Do you remember Carmen, the band? I don't know. You might have been.
No. I'm thinking of Carmen Sandiego, the cartoon.
No. It was this band. I actually saw them in my college.
Wow. Wait, like in your college? Like they were on campus? Or
yeah, they performed on campus. One of the first secular concerts I ever went to. Yeah, I went to a secular concert.
She did that, guys.
I did that.
Try not to be too jealous.
Okay, let me play. This was a banger.
Good. Nope. Not even a little bit. I hope you know, I don't think anybody will be able to hear the songs you play when they actually listen to the podcast.
You out finish strong. No, because the thing, my thing is getting green.
But whenever I listen to the podcast and you play something on your phone, I can never actually hear it.
Well, that's upsetting. Well, anyway, let me know if you guys remember Carmen. I was actually a big fan. Anyway, so long story short, I put them all in the same category, and I'm wondering, like, now that we're talking about them, I'm wondering why they never. I feel like they just didn't. I guess everybody has their time, but like,
why
some of them could have been like Sabrina and Olivia level. In my opinion, I mean, Carmen was like specifically Carmen was Sabrina in my home. It went platinum.
Yeah. Well, I think so. A lot of it is just a timing issue, like, I mean, because part of it is Sabrina's been releasing music for like what? Probably, I mean, at least 10 to 15 years. Yeah, exactly. And she's just now really getting to the point where everybody knows her. Like, I've known her for probably the past 10 years, but like, not everyone.
I'll admit, I just became a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I mean, and Chappell Roan, same thing, right? Like, she's been around, she's been performing in, like, parks or, like, random small venues, but nobody knew her name until this past year. So, I don't know that there's, like, a rhyme or a reason to it, other than, like, you just have to get, like, a song that people like and like get them to hear it or get it trending, like, and I'm sure marketing people can give you like techniques on how to make that happen, but sometimes it's like you either just have the song that's like gonna get the majority of people's attention, like majority of people can just admit it's a good song or it's got a like a nice beat or cool lyrics or whatever, and that kind of makes, oops, I have a fork that I'm eating bread with and I just knocked it, but we're all fine. You either make it or you don't, and it just kind of is like, that was a song people liked, that was one they didn't. I don't know.
And I guess the lesson here, kids, is you also have to keep going. I feel like sometimes people quit, and this is with podcasting too. So people ask me all the time for tips and questions for podcasting. Here's a statistic, and I say this all the time. The average podcast only has 7 episodes. So only 7, because it is a lot harder than you think it is. I mean, just now with the whole music thing, some people will be like, well, then, I'm just never going to, you have to have something in you to like, keep going, A. And then B, it takes time. And like something that I learned, I want to say from the Skinny Confidential, is like you want to always be doing your best, keeping going, even when you only have, for podcasting, even if you only have 10 listeners that are consistent, you want to keep going, because when it is your time,
Mm-hmm.
You want there to be an archive that you kept going. You want there to be, okay, I really like this episode of, for example, I really like this episode of Those Are the Girls. What else do they talk about? And then you have all these other episodes. So then, you know, you can really develop an audience. And the same with singing. Like, Sabrina Carpenter is a great example. I love the Nonsense song.
Mm-hmm.
That's an old song. I honestly became a fan of Sabrina at Espresso, okay? I'm gonna admit it. It took me a minute. But now I can go back and listen to Nonsense. So it's, I mean, the same concept. I'm sure it's the same thing with writing too. You know, put forth good books. So then when your book actually takes off, you'll have other books that they can listen and or not binge. You don't binge. I mean, I guess you can binge a book, but
Yeah.
that's probably not the right word.
Have you heard of Rebecca Yarros?
No.
Okay, so she's an author that I think of when I think of this. Like, she wrote the book series Fourth Wing.
Yeah. I know that.
Yes. So that's like a massive, massive series, like got popular within the last few years. And but like before that series, she has other books that have been out. You know, like she's been writing, but I don't want to say no one knew her before Fourth Wing, but like now all of a sudden she's on bestseller lists, she's selling out, you know, like,
and that's part of that
auditoriums.
Is Onyx part of that thing that everybody's talking about? Onyx?
Onyx Storm is the third book in the series. Yeah. So
okay, yeah.
Now
and they're actually everywhere. Celebrities reading it.
Right. Yeah. And now it's, and they're casting for like a TV show. And this has all happened within the last, I mean, I want to say 2 years, but it can't have been more than like 3, like since her first book came out, I don't think. But like, yeah. So, you know, I mean, I would imagine that it's like, oh, okay, you know, maybe this isn't even her favorite project. You know, maybe she has other books that she thinks are better or whatever. And this was just like, you know, I don't know. I haven't talked to her about it specifically, but like, you know, she didn't just come out with her first book and it's like, wow, this girl is going to come out with something really big and snazzy in a few years, you know, like, just took a minute to like get some, you know, experience behind her. Now she has a series that everyone loves and it's like very trending and viral, and all of her other books are now getting more attention, I feel like, because she wrote Fourth Wing, and so people are like, oh, what's she about, you know? So same thing as what you were talking about with Sabrina, like, it's all that music that she's written is still there. People just don't necessarily discover it immediately when it comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of that to say, everyone, keep going. Whatever goals you have, don't stop. Keep going. If you have any questions about podcasting, let me know. I think I'm going to make a little like one pager because people ask me legit, like probably once a week, people ask me about podcasting. And I need to have just I got you. I'm just sending you like a one pager explaining everything.
You could even record an episode about podcasting. Like podcasting.
I should. Maybe I will. For those who do not know, also, we have a new podcast on the Other Girls Media Network, Open to Life, by my friend Melanie Salazar. You guys have heard her on the podcast and you've seen her on my Instagram.
Salazar.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so it is Salazar, but is
only on Instagram.
Yeah. It's just, I think is her middle name. I feel like I should know that. But it's Salazar. Mm-hmm. But the way you said it with the accent is the right way to say it. But I am a Southerner, so I don't. Let me pull up the next story. Oh, yes. I wanted to kind of sort of talk about this. Wendy Williams. Do you know who that is?
No.
She was like this popular. She would do like, she had a talk show to talk about celebrities. You've definitely seen her clips. It'll be like, clap if you think if he should be dead or stuff like that, or like, okay, that was a bad example. Let me just see.
Redeem yourself quickly.
Let me just 1 second. Wendy Williams. She was like Wendy Williams funny moments. Okay, let's play a couple of funny moments. You've heard that.
You were a wounded bird, damaged goods. You never get married. Nobody wants you.
Okay, this is all right. Everybody, forget that happened. Wendy Williams,
I can hear it anyway.
That's true. They can't even hear. Okay.
Yep. That's basically what happened. Was it sounds like a middle-aged woman just going, yep.
Okay. Well, oops. Sorry about that, you guys. Anyway, she was like a talk show host. I'll just leave it at that. Well, in the recent years, it's been reported that she is in a facility because she has dementia. Well, turns out that might not be true. And the article.
Wait. Is this the
Black.
Oh, is this the video of the of she's like standing inside a building and she's at the phone, like on the phone at the window, and she's like, they won't let me out. Oh my gosh, yeah, I did see that. Didn't know.
Okay, I am so embarrassed. Okay, let me explain background, and then I'll explain why I'm having a hard time to find. So there has been an update on the story, but let me explain the background. So they did a documentary about her, and they explain, and she looks like she's not well. That she has dementia, so she has to have help. They have someone coming. She's under conservatorship. So then recently we saw the clip of her on the phone and talking to some reporters, and the reporters like asking her questions. She's like, I want to get out. I cannot get out. And then last weekend she was able to leave, and there was a video of her on a scooter to go see her dad. Well, the reason why I'm trying to find like an article to discuss all that, but I can't, because recently, as of like yesterday, the 18th, as of yesterday, Wendy Williams moved to a memory unit at assisted living after getting drunk at lunch. So apparently, this is from New York Post. So apparently, it sounds like she has an alcohol problem, which is so interesting because that was also kind of like from the information I have, that was the vibe I got too. More of like an alcohol problem as opposed to dementia. So it's saying Wendy Williams was transferred to the memory unit of her assisted living facility after allegedly getting drunk at the facility's restaurant, according to the new report. The beloved talk show host's dementia diagnosis, however, does not appear to have played a part in this move, TMZ reported on Tuesday. Williams allegedly became intoxicated in the early days of her stay when she had lunch at the facility's top floor restaurant and bar. Supervisors were reportedly furious when they learned that the daytime star, who allegedly stayed at the restaurant for a long time, was served alcohol. The employee at the facility told TMZ that the supervisors then decided to relocate the former Wendy Williams show host to the facility's fifth floor memory unit, where she would not have unrestricted access to the elevator, by extension, the restaurant and bar. So what she's trying to do now, before this, was to get off of the conservatorship. And my question is, most of us don't know people on conservatorships in real life. And that's what I'm assuming. I don't know. Do you know anyone that has a conservatorship or anything like that?
Not that I know of.
It seems like it is something that a lot of companies get on.
Yeah.
For a myriad of reasons. I think a lot of it is because I personally don't know any billionaires in real life. Do you know any billionaires in real life?
Not that I know of.
So I think a lot of it has to do with like if people find you can't manage your money and things like that. So I guess like what I'm thinking about when I think about these stories about conservatorships and like, people with alcohol problems, like where is the line, I guess? When do you start to like jump in? Because here's the other thing too. You're a human. You have every right to be a little crazy, to get a little wild with your friends. I mean, I'm sure we might not have people who are conservatorships, but we certainly have people that type the craziest things on Facebook that you look at and you're like, oh my God, this person maybe needs a conservatorship. So like, where is the line? I guess is my question. What do you think is like, I'm thinking of a particular person I have on Facebook. Some of the stuff, like the only reason I have not unfriended him is because of like a sick need to like just see what else he's going to say.
It's watching a train crash or whatever. You can't stop.
Don't say plane crash right now.
No, I said
a train. Oh yeah, a train. Yeah, let's say trains colliding. Anyway, that's. But yeah, so like I have someone on and I'm like, maybe he should get a conservatorship. But I guess like I know they're offered for regular people, but like why don't we take advantage of them? But at the same time, like, but you're a human. You're an American. You have every right to be a little wild and crazy, to jump off the building if you want. So I don't know, like, how does this stuff get decided?
Well, okay, I feel like there are a couple of things that I'm stuck on. I'm stuck on, first of all, okay, so she was never, like, when she went to go visit her dad or whatever, she was never, like, discharged from the assisted living.
No,
She
she
just
was
was,
just,
like, allowed to leave, like,
yeah,
go and,
yeah,
like, visit on a day
yeah,
pass.
yeah.
Okay, and because I was like, hang on a second, how did she get committed to an assisted living memory care place for drinking? I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Okay, but the pieces are falling into place. But the other thing I'm thinking about is the fact that they had to restrict her elevator access rather than just telling the bartenders, don't serve her. You know what I'm saying?
A valid point too.
You couldn't just give her like a tattoo or something, like a big X right there. You know, like you had to like, I don't know, like change her key code or whatever, however your elevator works. You had to
Yeah,
do all that instead of just being like, hey, you know Wendy Williams or whatever her name is? Like,
yeah.
don't give her any alcohol. So there are a couple of notes I'm making, you know, in the event that I ever am asked to like take over this assisted living facility.
Right.
Some things are going to be changing. But then, what was your actual question?
I think I'm just curious, like, when do we start, like, stepping in? And then, like, should we have conservatorships? Like, I feel like we should, but then I just keep going to okay, perfect example, Kanye West. If I was a family member of him, I think he would be the perfect candidate in my head for conservatorship. I think like that's someone I definitely would want. But then at the same time, like he's free to be him.
His pronouns are USA.
I mean, that's he can do whatever he wants, I guess. And then now that I'm saying it out loud, is it only women or let's look at the percentage of men to women that have conservatorships.
True. Have you ever heard of a man that had a conservatorship?
Never in my life.
So this is just a way to like externalize misogyny then.
Yeah, it's a way to keep women down. If a woman wants to go around Britney Spears dancing with knives in her house, she should be able to.
I mean, that's what she still does that. Like, so, you know. I also am wondering how much I really understand about conservatorships. Like,
Same.
who decides that's needed? Because I guess I'm thinking of like I don't know, a Britney Spears, Whitney Houston, where it's like maybe when they started out they were like kind of young, you know, and so it's like their parents or whatever were like, she's 17, she can't, you know, have all this money and, you know, whatever. But like that feels different than some of these other situations. And now I'm wondering if I just made that up in my head.
Y'all are not going to believe how many Americans are under a conservatorship.
No, how many?
1.3 million.
How many Americans are there total?
Let me see. I was not thinking there would be millions.
Who?
You know what, you guys? I think we see people we're friends with people under conservatorships and we just don't know it.
The conservators among us. Conservatives.
Yeah. Okay, there are U.S. population.
It's in the I don't know.
349. It's the third most populated country in the world.
Try that again. There's only like 7 billion people on the whole planet.
346, 598, 849.
Wait, can you show me the number on your screen? Okay. No,
that's million. Now I'm looking at it.
346,598,000. Blah 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 blah.
I'm not a numbers person. I'm better at speaking.
I was like, I don't know much, but I know that's wrong. I know for a fact that there are not 300 billion.
Okay, so that's 3. So that's what? How would I put that? How do I get the percentage of that from 1.3 million?
Okay.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
While you do that, I'm trying to find a breakdown of conservatorships. I think I found it, but conservator demographics. I'm just trying to make sure this is the right. Like, I'm looking at the right statistics, and it's not people who are okay, no, this is how to become a conservator. No, we don't want that. We want people to be free.
So, yeah, free the 1.4 million Americans who have make it a hashtag, guys. We can do it. I think it's like 0.3%, basically.
Okay. 0.3%. All right.
So, like, I think less than 1%. But
yeah.
But I kind of did like the rough numbers. So, probably ballpark of 1%.
So, okay, less people that I actually, now I'm not a numbers person. When I hear 1.3 million, I'm like, okay, that means someone in my job.
Valerie thought there were like 3 million people total, in the America.
Oh no, like, okay, so this makes a little bit more sense to me. I'm like, okay, that means someone at my job is on a conservatorship and we just don't know. And no shade if that is what has happened to you. I also want to say that, like, if that...
Yeah, not victim blaming.
No, not at all. If anything, I want to fight for your right to do whatever. But then again, I'm also, because, I also talk about, like, the people on drugs that are, like, their body is literally falling off. Like, now they need conservatorships. Like, why aren't they the ones with conservatorships?
Because they don't have any money. Like, I don't want to say that blanket statement. Like, most drug addicts are rapidly losing their assets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's a valid point.
So, and honestly, like, I don't know. Like, a lot of people that do have assets that would, like, necessitate, like, a conservatorship, I don't know. It seems like they kind of they're more able to be, like, functioning addicts,
Well, this is how I would change it. I would get people are free to do whatever they want. I would get those people. Okay, now tell me about conservationists. I need on a conservatorship.
Conservationists.
Yeah, now it's like definitely it's lost its compared.
Yeah.
To men.
I mean, I think there are a lot of people that you're right, like, probably would benefit from having somebody, like, looking out for their best interest, but...
Yeah, I would flip it. Okay, all right.
She's solving the problem.
I found it, everyone. Guess how many?
What? How many?
65% more are women. Okay, this isn't really what we're looking for. This is about people whose husbands have died. Yeah. All right, so there's no data. That's the other problem. There's no data on this. This is something, who do I talk to get the data?
We're going to have to run a study post-haste. Please and thank you.
Well, gosh, I cannot remember her. Amanda Bynes was on a conservatorship.
Is that Scamanda?
No. Amanda Bynes, The Amanda Show. She's before your time.
I recognize the name, but I am trying to figure out
What a Girl Wants. Have you seen that movie? Oh, it's such a sweet movie. She finds out that her dad is like nobility, some like high position in England. So then she goes. She's never met her dad, and she's hyped her dad up to be this great, amazing man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't want to tell you anymore, but she goes to find him, and it's like the sweetest movie.
I don't know. Anyway,
or Sydney White. She was in a lot of like fun girl movies that they don't make anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so
sorry, that's what I got for you.
But yeah, so all that to say, let me say how I would change it. And then we probably should wrap it up. It's almost an hour.
Mm-hmm.
The people who need the conservatorships are people who, like I've mentioned before, drug addicts whose body parts are falling. Like, they need help. They need, I don't take away people's rights, but like, they need it. They need help.
Mm-hmm.
People who are just a little quirky. They're a little goofy, they type a little funky. They don't necessarily need it as much.
Mm-hmm.
I think we take the conservatives who are conserving them and we give them to the drug addict people. I think that's But you made a good point about the money part, because and this is where it gets a little shady. I don't know enough. I also want to say this, guys. I'm just talking. Like, for all I know, conservatorship stuff is.
We are not experts on this.
I'm not an expert. So, but I think you made a good point about the money thing. That's probably a good reason, the main reason why we don't know anyone that is a conservator, has a conservatorship.
I think it has to do with, like, your assets, your potential assets, like what they expect you to be bringing in, and your public influence. Like, because if you're expected to bring in a bunch of money with, like, an acting or a singing career or whatever, and you ruin it by, like, saying silly things online, then, you know, that's, like, you're hurting your own best interests, you know, from, like, a financial perspective. So I think if it's like, okay, maybe this person has a nice little nest egg, but they're not going to, there's nothing we can do to really prevent them from losing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're going to lose it, they're going to lose it, versus, like, okay, this person could get canceled or ruin their career by doing something, you know, like, we need to be there to step in and, like, to keep the, you know, whatever, the curve of their productivity, like, financially going upwards, and instead of kind of letting it plateau. But, like, again, this is not something I have studied deeply. I just am vaguely familiar with the concept based off of, like, these people's stories.
And what we've learned, there's not a lot of data about it anyway.
True. So how are we even supposed to be experts?
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, I don't necessarily know fully what to believe for Wendy Williams. I don't really know what she needs, but it's a bizarre situation. And how uncomfortable is it that it's being played out in public?
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, that's the show. Anything you want to add?
I don't think so. Feel free to follow me. I just changed my Instagram handle today. So I am on Instagram at Elise Sainor, ELISESEANOR, and then at your favorite writing group. Those are the places.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on again. And everyone, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, well, I have been cut off this entire whatever. Most people listen to it anyway. If you have enjoyed this episode, please leave a rate, review, and subscribe. Tell all your friends. Let us know, how do you feel about conservatorships? Do you have one? I'm just joking. And if you do, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Wait, what'd you say?
If you do have a conservatorship, we would love to be educated about it. If that's in your contract or whatever it is to do, like, please explain to us what's going on.
Exactly. And once again, not laughing at you, we're laughing with you.
We're laughing at ourselves, not knowing what's going on.
There really needs to be some more data on this. But yeah, so that's the show. I hope you have a good day, night, evening, however, wherever you're listening. Bye.